Hello everyone. So up until the previous video tutorial, we have seen basics of state management, Redux, and how you can set up the boilerplate for Redux into your Flutter application. Now we will be doing the actual CRUD operations inside our app. So to begin with, let's start by adding items so that we can view the items and then further delete it or update it. Okay. So to add items, I have written a method called add item. In this method, we are taking these two parameters, entered title and entered date, which we will have to pass to any, like to create any new item. We need these attributes. Okay, so we are then checking if the entered title is empty, because to add a task we need to have the task name. Okay, we're seeing that the task element is persisting even after we close. So let's fix that by going to the model bottom sheet, model. Yes, let's check that. Let's call it what have I named the controller? Title controller. Yes, title controller. Let's make it empty at the beginning. Text. Yes, so see, now when we go back it won't be there. Okay, like even after you add, it won't be there. Alright, so let's go back to the add item method, and we're checking if the user has given any input. If he has given any input, then we will need to add the item to the list. Okay, to add the item to the list, what we need to do is we need to dispatch an action to the reducer. So let's at first write the action. Okay, action is a class that describes what has to happen. Okay, so let's call it add item action, because with this action we are going to add an element to the list. Add item action. Let's take a dynamic variable called item. Okay, this we are going to take it as an input. Now let's define the constructor. Add item action, and it will take in this dot item. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not a method, it's a class. Okay, so now that we have defined an action, where do we dispatch an action? We dispatch it to the reducer. So we must let the reducer know that there is this action called add item action, and if we get this action, what we should do. So let's make a conditional statement over here. Let's say if action is add item action, then do this. Okay, let's print something like hi from add item action. Okay, so let me show you how this works at first. So let's go to my homepage.dart. In the add item action, if everything's okay, if the user has given us a proper input, we will dispatch an action. So store dot dispatch add item action, and here we'll be passing the item that we need to add to the list. That is, okay, let's import action dot. Okay, that will be an instance of the item class. Item class has, you see, it has a title. Okay, we need to import this library as well. So now we can see that item class has title, date, and done. So let's define all that. Title will be entered title, date is gonna be typo, date is gonna be entered date, and done will be false, because initially your task is undone. Okay, so now let's try to submit and see what happens. So let's go and create a new task called, suppose, task 101. Let's add. See, we have got the hi from add action printed into the console. Now let's do the actual work, that is, yes, in our reducer. What we will return is, okay, return state dot, remember the copy width we had defined earlier in the state. Okay, we can remove this. We don't need to define it explicitly. Okay, copy width, and this takes an item list state as a parameter. First of all, we will take an empty list, then we will take the current state and pass it to the empty list. Okay, we'll take the current state dot item list state, then into this we will also add the input. We will add action dot item, the input that we get from the action. Okay, yes, okay. Have I missed something? Let me check. Yeah, semicolon. Okay, now to check this, as we haven't displayed the list from the redux store, so let me just print it for you first and show it to you. Okay, so let's say something like print, yeah, before state will be okay, store dot state dot item list state. So we'll see the state before, and after the dispatching of action, let's see what happens. Okay, yes, now let's go and check this out. Let me clear the console so it's easier for us to view it. Okay, task 101. And see, previously our state was it consisted of only one item, and as soon as I added another item, I see in two instances of our item. So now to read this data, let's go into our list view. Yes, so now the item count will be the count of item list state in the store. Okay, so we'll say store dot state dot item list state dot length. Okay, then we will be showing these items. See, we have two items in our store, that's why it's showing this. Okay, the key also will be so item list state and index. Okay, our title will be something like this, index dot title and date format will be not datetime dot now but index dot date. Okay, let's call the done as well. Yeah, okay, if it is done, then we will show a green check mark, otherwise we will keep the blank box there. Dot done. Okay, if it is true, then show that it's done, otherwise don't show. Okay, we haven't actually defined anything for this yet, so it's not working. I can show you like this, that if it is not done, then do this. See? Okay. Yeah. So up to this, you have seen how easily you can create and update your Redux store variables very easily. In the next video, we will explore how you can update and delete your Redux store items.